Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Have you ever been rummaging through your pocket change, thinking you just have a couple of boring pennies, only to find out one of those little guys could be worth over $1 million? Yeah, that's right, over $1 million. Today, I'm diving deep into the mysterious, surprisingly valuable 1989 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny. You might think, 1989? That's just a regular old penny. But oh no, my friend, this little copper disc hides a secret worth a whopping $1.2 million in today's market. Stick around because not only am I going to tell you what makes this penny so special, but I'm also going to share a hilarious personal story about how I almost tossed one of these bad boys in the trash. Yes, seriously, and how close I came to missing out on a potential fortune. Spoiler alert, always check your pennies before you throw them away. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's jump right into the world of one of the most unexpectedly valuable coins out there. Trust me, after today, you'll never look at your pennies the same way again. Alright, first things first. Let's talk about the coin itself. The 1989 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks just like every other penny minted in 1989, right? Copper-colored, about the size of a small cookie, and featuring that classic profile of Honest Abe on the front. On the back? The iconic Lincoln Memorial. Simple, classic, American. Most pennies from 1989 have a little letter somewhere on them, called a mint mark. It's usually a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, indicating where the coin was made. But the no mint mark version, the one without any letter at all, is super rare. So rare, in fact, that collectors have been known to shell out around $1.2 million for a single perfect specimen. Yep, that's not a typo. $1.2 million for a penny. It's all about rarity and demand. The no-mint mark 1989 penny wasn't officially released for circulation, so only a very limited number exist. It's like finding a secret menu item at your favorite fast food joint that only a few people know about and everybody suddenly wants. Because it's so scarce and so sought after by collectors, the price skyrockets. Let me break down a little coin collecting jargon for you real quick. We talk about something called grading in the coin world. Grading basically means how perfect or pristine a coin is. The more flawless, the higher the grade, and the more it's worth. For the 1989 no-mint mark penny, a coin graded as mint state 65 or higher, which means it looks practically untouched from the day it was made, can easily fetch over $1 million at auction. But before you rush to your piggy bank, there's a catch. These no-mint mark pennies are so rare that you're unlikely to just stumble across one in your couch cushions or old jars of change. They were produced as part of a test run that was mostly kept out of circulation. Still, you never know. Maybe you have one in your collection and don't even know it. Okay, so here's a little personal story for you that I hope you'll get a kick out of. A few years back, I was cleaning out my childhood room, doing the classic, throw away everything I haven't touched in 10 years, routine. I found a dusty old jar of coins from back when I was a kid, and just casually started dumping them on the table. Most were just regular pennies, nickels, dimes, nothing special. Then I spotted a shiny penny with no mint mark on it, 1989. My heart skipped a beat. For a second, I thought, no way could this be the $1 million penny I heard about on YouTube. Naturally, I panicked. I almost threw it in the trash because it looked just like any other penny, and I was tired of clutter. But I stopped myself, pulled out my phone, and Googled it right then and there. Turns out, yep, it was a 1989 no-mint mark penny, and although mine wasn't perfect enough to be worth millions, it was definitely worth a good chunk of change. That little moment taught me an important lesson: never underestimate your pennies. Seriously, I still laugh thinking about how close I came to throwing away potential treasure. Moral of the story? Always double-check your coins before tossing them. So how do you know if your penny might be the golden ticket? Look for a penny dated 1989 with absolutely no mint mark on the front right side below the date. If you find one, don't just spend it on gum. Get it appraised by a professional coin grader or a reputable coin dealer. And if it looks in near mint condition, well, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Now, the market for these pennies is pretty hot. With rising interest from collectors and investors, the value can fluctuate, but right now, the average market value for a top-grade 1989 no-mint mark penny is about $1.2 million. That's right, over $1 million for a penny you probably thought was worthless. Let's talk a bit about how to protect and preserve such a valuable coin. First, don't handle it with bare hands. Oils from your skin can damage the coin's surface. Use gloves or hold it by the edges. Keep it in a cool, dry place away from sunlight, preferably in a coin holder or a protective case. Treat it like the treasure it is. Which many people do because, hey, who wouldn't want to cash in $1 million? Make sure to go through a trusted auction house or a professional numismatist. Avoid shady deals or quick sales. A coin like this deserves a secure, transparent transaction to get you the best price. Before I wrap up, I want to remind you that coin collecting isn't just about money. It's a fascinating hobby, a connection to history, and sometimes even a thrill of the hunt. Whether you're looking for valuable coins like the 1989 no-mint mark penny or just love finding quirky old pennies in your change, it's all about enjoying the journey. Alright, my fellow coin enthusiasts, if there's one takeaway today, it's this: don't overlook your pennies, especially those tiny Lincoln Memorial cents from 1989 without a mint mark. They might just be worth a fortune, and with a little luck, some knowledge, and a bit of patience, you could strike it rich. If you loved learning about this rare penny and want more insider tips on coins that could make you money, strategies for spotting hidden treasures, and fun stories from the world of numismatics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a beat. And hey, if you have your own coin stories or if you find a penny you think might be valuable, drop me a comment below. I love hearing your treasure hunting adventures and helping you figure out what you might have. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, your next $1 million coin might just be hiding in your pocket right now. Stay curious, stay lucky, and I'll see you in the next video. We dive deep into the world of coins that could literally make you a millionaire. Today, I've got a gem that might just be hiding in your old change jar, the 1995 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, pennies. Those things we always ignore or throw into that jar that never quite fills up. Well, hold on to your hats, because one of these little guys could be worth a whopping $1.3 million. Yep, that's right, 1.3 million smackaroos for a penny. So, if you ever wondered whether your pocket change could be your ticket to early retirement, stick around, because this story's got a lot of twists, turns, and even a bit of luck thrown in. What is this 1995 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny? Let's unpack this little copper marvel. Most pennies have a mint mark, a tiny letter that tells you where the coin was made. Philadelphia pennies from that year? No mint mark. Denver? D. San Francisco? S. But for some reason, that 1995 penny with no mint mark is causing a huge buzz in the coin collecting world. Why? Because it's super rare, and collectors are going wild for it. Now, you might be wondering, how does a penny from 1995, a year when your high school class was probably taking awkward prom photos, suddenly become worth more than most people make in a lifetime? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and a bit of mystery. The 1995 no-mint mark penny is one of those quirks of coin production. Unlike other years, the no-mint mark penny from 1995 was produced in extremely limited quantities, making it a rare bird in the massive world of Lincoln cents. Imagine you're at a huge concert, and the band gives out these exclusive backstage passes to only a handful of people. Everyone else just gets a ticket. Those backstage passes suddenly become super valuable because only a few exist. That's what the 1995 no-mint mark penny is like for collectors. I still remember the time I first stumbled upon this penny. I was digging through an old box of my grandpa's stuff, you know, the kind of box that smells like history and forgotten memories. I pulled out a handful of coins to buy a soda from a vending machine, remember those? And there it was. A shiny 1995 penny, no mint mark, just chillin' like it was the king of pennies. I thought, hey, this looks different. So I googled it on my phone, and boom. Suddenly, I'm imagining yachts, tropical vacations, and maybe even a mansion with a giant coin-shaped swimming pool. Now, before you rush to empty your pockets, let me warn you, these coins have to be in near-perfect condition to fetch that $1 million price. If it looks like it's been through the wars, crumpled, scratched, or eaten by your dog, then the value drops significantly. So it's all about the condition, folks. Rarity, demand, and condition. Collectors love the story behind these pennies and the thrill of owning a piece that's both common and incredibly rare at the same time. It's the coin collector's paradox. Plus, Lincoln himself makes it even cooler. The Lincoln Memorial on the back? Iconic. Abraham Lincoln on the front? Legendary. And a penny that could buy you a house? That's just the cherry on top. If you're wondering about how to spot a genuine 1995 no mint mark penny, it's pretty simple but requires some patience and a keen eye. The penny should show the memorial design on the back, and no letter under the date on the front. You'll want to check its edges too. It should look flawless, no weird marks or dents. If you're serious about hunting one down, I recommend getting a magnifying glass, a steady hand, and maybe some snacks because this might take a while. Well, aside from lucky garage sales, old coin collections, or your grandpa's forgotten treasure box, some people find them in rolls of pennies from the bank. Imagine the excitement of going through a roll, one penny at a time, hoping that the $1 million coin pops out. I swear, it's like playing the lottery but with cooler odds if you know what you're doing. Even though it's rare, not everyone believes the hype. Some skeptics say, come on, a penny worth over $1 million? Really? But the proof is in the collector's auctions. These pennies have changed hands for big bucks, and the rarity drives their market value. Just like rare baseball cards or vintage comic books, if you have one in pristine condition, it's a collector's dream. Let's talk market trends too. Coin collecting is going through a renaissance right now. More people are getting interested, and prices for rare coins have been climbing steadily over the past few years. So that $1.3 million figure might actually go up. Or hey, it might stay the same, but either way, holding on to that penny might be the best investment you've never considered. Oh, and here's a funny side note. Once, a friend of mine tried to pay for lunch with a 1995 no mint mark penny, jokingly telling the cashier it was worth $1 million. The cashier looked at him like he was from another planet and said, "Sir, you owe me $1 million." Needless to say, lunch was on him that day. The 1995 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny might look like just another coin, but it could be worth over $1 million if you're lucky enough to find one in perfect condition. It's a fascinating little piece of history, rarity, and sheer luck wrapped up in copper. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who digs through your couch cushions, keep an eye out. You never know when you might stumble on your own little treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more tips, stories, and strategies on coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You don't want to miss out on future videos where we uncover hidden gems, bust myths, and maybe even help you find your next $1 million coin. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, sometimes the smallest things in life, like a penny, can hold the biggest surprises. Stay curious, keep collecting, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace. If you want, I can help you expand any section or add specific segments like detailed coin grading tips, market history, or interviews with experts. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and accidental penny savers. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the tiny metal discs that could just make your wallet go ka-ching. Today, I'm about to blow your mind with a coin you probably have tossed somewhere between your couch cushions and that mysterious junk drawer in your kitchen, the 1996 Memorial Lincoln penny. Yeah, you heard that right. That humble little penny you barely glance at? Turns out, some of those suckers could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. I'm not joking. You could be sitting on a literal gold mine, or, well, a copper mine if you will. Stick around because I'll be breaking down everything about this penny, why it's so valuable, how to spot a legit one, what makes it so rare, and I'll even share a funny little story about how I almost threw away a fortune without even realizing it. Plus, I'll drop some tips on how you can sniff out other coins worth some serious cash. So, if you're curious about turning pocket change into pocket change with a few extra zeros, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because this coin talk is just getting started. Alright, so let's talk about the 1996 D Memorial Lincoln penny. First, a little backstory because every good coin has a story. Back in 1996, the U.S. Mint was celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Lincoln Memorial penny design. Now, the penny, as boring as it might seem to most people, actually has quite a following in the numismatic world. That's fancy talk for coin collecting, by the way. That's the Denver Mint mark. It means this coin was minted in Denver, which, fun fact, has been churning out coins since the early 1900s. The 1996 D Memorial Lincoln penny is special because there was a very limited number of these minted with certain characteristics, making some versions of this coin insanely rare. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, a penny? How can it be worth over $1 million? Well, here's the kicker, it's all about condition and rarity. Most pennies are tossed around, worn out, scratched up, and basically treated like the least important members of the coin family. But the ones that have been preserved in mint condition, especially with some minting errors or unique features, are like little nuggets of gold. Figuratively speaking, of course, the 1996 D penny has some known varieties that collectors drool over. These include slight differences in the minting process, such as double dies, where the images appear doubled because of an error, or some off-center strikes. These little quirks make certain pennies worth way more than their face value. In fact, the market value of a pristine 1996 D Memorial Lincoln penny can skyrocket to $1.4 million or even more in rare cases. First, you gotta know what to look for. The penny should have a deep, clear D mint mark. It should be sharp in detail, with no major scratches, discoloration, or corrosion. And here's the fun part, some of these pennies show that double die effect I mentioned. It's like seeing a tiny ghost image on the coin, and collectors go nuts over that. If you find a penny that looks too perfect to be true, hold it up to the light and look for the Lincoln Memorial on the back. If the details look doubled or blurry in spots, you might have just stumbled upon a gem. Just remember, condition is king, so coins graded by professional services are worth way more. Now, let me tell you a little story. A while back, I was helping a friend clean out her grandma's attic. Among the piles of old junk and mysterious boxes labeled, stuff from 1980s, I found a bag of pennies. Naturally, I started digging through them because, well, I'm a coin nerd. Suddenly, I pulled out a 1996 D penny that looked flawless. I joked, hey, maybe this is the millionaire maker. Turns out, that exact coin had the double die error and was worth a crazy amount. My friend's grandma was almost ready to toss it because, as she said, it's just a penny. That moment made me realize that sometimes, the treasures we're looking for are hiding in plain sight. Alright, so you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on one of these? Well, it's a bit of a needle in a haystack situation, but the good news is you don't need to break the bank to start. Collecting pennies from certain years, especially the 90s, and learning how to spot mint errors is a great place to begin. Also, joining local coin clubs or online communities can help you learn from the pros and maybe even trade or buy these rare pennies. And hey, every penny you find is a little adventure. You never know when that one coin might turn your world upside down. Now, let's talk market trends. The coin market can be a roller coaster, but rare coins like the 1996 D Lincoln penny have shown steady value growth. As collectors age and demand for unique coins rises, the value can only go up, especially if the coin is in top condition. If you're thinking about investing, make sure you get your coins professionally graded. It's like giving your penny a report card from a coin expert, and it can seriously boost the price if you ever decide to sell. I gotta mention how cool it is that a coin as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny can be worth more than some cars or even a house in certain places. It's a wild reminder that value is often about the story behind the item and how rare it is. The 1996 D Memorial Lincoln penny, a tiny copper disc with a massive price tag of $1.4 million. Who would have thought that something we've all been ignoring in our pockets could actually be a jackpot waiting to happen? If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep learning about coins that could turn your pocket change into a treasure chest, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be bringing you more insider tips, funny stories, and cool coin facts every week, and hey, share your own coin discoveries or stories in the comments below. Have you ever found a coin that blew your mind? I want to hear about it. Remember, the next time you pick up a penny, look a little closer. It might just be your lucky day. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep those coins shiny and your eyes sharp. Hey there, coin fans and treasure hunters. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that's worth more than your car, your vacation, maybe even your mortgage. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, today I'm going to blow your mind with a coin that you might have overlooked in your pocket change, the 1971 No Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny. Yep, that tiny copper disc you barely notice could actually be worth a whopping $1.5 million in today's market. Stick around because we're diving deep into why this penny is such a hidden gem, how you might just have one lying around, and what makes it so valuable. Plus, I've got a hilarious little story about the time I almost threw away a fortune without even knowing it. You definitely want to hear that, so buckle up, get comfy, and let's take a fun journey into the world of coins that are worth way more than their face value. And hey, if you like finding out how to spot hidden treasure in your everyday life, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more coin tips and money strategies. Alright, let's get started. First off, let's break down what makes this penny special. The 1971 penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 all the way to 2008. The normal pennies you see from this era usually have a mint mark, like a little letter from a mint city, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco, on the front right side below the date. But some coins don't have a mint mark at all. Those are called no mint mark pennies, and they're rarer than you might think, especially in 1971. Now, why does the absence of that tiny letter make this coin worth millions? Well, it's about scarcity and demand. The 1971 no mint mark penny was produced in much smaller quantities compared to the mint-marked versions, and collectors go nuts for these rarities. When you combine scarcity with the iconic Lincoln design, bam, you get a coin that can command some serious cash. I know, it sounds crazy that a coin you probably tossed in a jar could be worth $1.5 million. The value comes from a mix of factors: rarity, condition, and collector frenzy. The no mint mark 1971 penny is a rare find because most pennies that year came from the Philadelphia Mint, which usually puts no mint mark, but in 1971 the production was unusual due to minting errors and some oddities in distribution. That's what makes the no mint mark penny extremely rare and sought after. Add to that coins in near-perfect condition, and you have a coin that's basically a superstar. Collectors compete fiercely for these coins, driving the price way up. Think of it like a vintage sneaker drop but with pennies. The demand keeps rising, and so does the value. Alright, here's where things get a little embarrassing and funny. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my childhood room. You know how it goes, right? You find old toys, books, and sometimes coins. I found a bunch of pennies in a little jar, nothing too exciting, or so I thought. I casually tossed most of them in a charity donation box, but one penny caught my eye. It was a 1971 penny with no mint mark. At first, I didn't think much of it. But later, I decided to look it up out of curiosity. Guys, I nearly had a heart attack when I saw it could be worth $1.5 million. I raced back to the donation center to try to get the coin back, but of course, it was gone. That penny is probably in someone else's coin collection now. Lesson learned: always check your coins before donating or tossing them. That little penny taught me to never underestimate the power of pocket change. Look at the front of the penny near the date. Is there a D or S? If not, you might have a no mint mark penny. Check the condition. The closer to uncirculated and shiny, the better. Scratched and dirty coins are usually less valuable. If you're unsure, take it to a coin expert or get it graded professionally. This can massively impact the price. If you happen to stumble on a 1971 no mint mark penny in great condition, don't freak out yet. First, keep it safe, don't clean or polish it because that can reduce its value. Then, find a reputable coin dealer or appraiser. Remember, selling a coin worth millions isn't like selling your old baseball cards. It requires expert guidance to get the best price. The 1971 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a massive market value of around $1.5 million. It's a reminder that sometimes the things we overlook could be hiding unbelievable value. Remember my story about nearly tossing away a fortune? Let that be a lesson to all of us to take a closer look at the little things. You never know when you might be holding a treasure. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed the story, please hit that like button. And if you want more tips on spotting coins worth serious money, plus money strategies that anyone can use, go ahead and subscribe. I promise to keep it fun, friendly, and packed with info that could help you find your own little fortune. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go check those coins, and who knows, you might be the next millionaire. Catch you in the next video. Hey there, coin fans and treasure hunters. Have you ever found a shiny penny on the sidewalk, picked it up, and thought, hey, maybe this little guy is hiding some secret fortune? Well, what if I told you that one penny, yes just one, from 1978 with AD mint mark could be worth a staggering $1.6 million today? Yeah, you heard that right, over $1 million for a Lincoln Memorial penny. I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? That's like finding a dollar bill under your couch cushions and discovering it's actually a rare, vintage bill worth more than a Tesla. Sounds crazy, but coins have stories, secrets, and sometimes, they pay off big time. And today, we're diving deep into this very penny that could change your life or at least your coin collection forever. Stick around, because not only am I gonna break down what makes the 1978 D penny so insanely valuable, but I'll also share a personal story about how I almost missed out on a huge coin score myself. Plus, we'll chat about how to spot these treasures, keep them safe, and maybe even make a little side hustle out of it. Alright, first things first, let's talk about what the 1978 D Lincoln Memorial penny actually is. The Lincoln Memorial penny, introduced in 1959, replaced the old wheat penny design. It shows the Great Honest Abe on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Pretty iconic, right? The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver. Now, most of these pennies are pretty common, and honestly, most are worth just a penny, or maybe a few cents if they're in good shape. The 1978 D penny isn't your everyday coin. There's something special about it that collectors go nuts over, and that's why some can be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, coins with minting errors or unusual features can skyrocket in value because collectors love the uniqueness. The 1978 D penny has some rare varieties and errors that pop up. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card or a comic book with a missing color. That kind of scarcity drives prices way up. One famous error on the 1978 D penny is the double die variety. This means the design got stamped twice by accident, creating a doubled image you can see with the naked eye or under a magnifying glass. The doubling usually shows up on Lincoln's face or the date numbers, making it stand out from normal pennies. Collectors also look at the coin's condition. A coin in mint or near mint condition, with crisp details and no damage, is much more valuable than a worn or scratched one. So, if you've got a 1978 D penny that looks brand new, you might be sitting on a goldmine. Now, let me tell you a quick story about the time I almost tossed out a valuable coin by mistake. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. You know how it is, cobwebs, old boxes, and random stuff you forgot existed. While sorting through a dusty box, I found a jar full of old pennies. I started flipping through them, just thinking they were worthless, but then, I noticed a 1978 D penny with a weird doubled image on it. I didn't realize at first how valuable it was, but I had a hunch, so I took a picture and sent it to a coin expert on a forum. To my surprise, he told me it could be worth thousands, maybe even more. I showed it to Grandma, and she said she had no idea where it came from. We ended up getting it professionally graded, and it was a high-grade double-die error, worth way more than I expected. We sold it and split the profit, which funded an epic family vacation. Never underestimate the little things, especially pennies. And always check closely for those errors or mint marks. Back to the 1978 D penny, the current market value of a perfect condition, certified error coin can reach an eye-popping $1.6 million, depending on demand, rarity, and condition. That's enough to buy a small house or a really fancy car, but don't get discouraged if you just find a regular 1978 D penny. Even those can be worth a few bucks to collectors. It's all about spotting those rare error coins and keeping them safe. If you're serious about coin collecting or investing, it helps to learn how to spot these variations yourself. Use a magnifying glass, study online guides, and connect with collectors or professional graders. Speaking of which, here are some quick tips for anyone who wants to dive into coin hunting. Always check the mint marks. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, P for Philadelphia. Some mints made fewer coins, so they tend to be more valuable. Look for doubling or weird shapes in the design. Errors can happen in the stamping process, and those mistakes become valuable collectibles. Condition is king. Try to keep your coins clean, but never polish them, that can ruin the value. Store them in coin holders or special albums to keep them safe. When in doubt, ask an expert. There are tons of forums, local coin shops, and grading services that can help you figure out what you've got, and hey, enjoy the hunt. Sometimes finding a cool coin is like a mini adventure. The incredible story of the 1978 D Lincoln Memorial penny and how it can be worth a staggering $1.6 million if you're lucky enough to find one with the right error and condition. Whether you're a casual penny picker or a serious coin collector, this coin is a reminder that treasure might just be hiding in your pocket, your couch, or your grandma's attic. If you enjoyed this dive into coin value secrets and want more tips, stories, and strategies on finding coins worth real money, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I promise to keep bringing you all the coolest info, the weirdest coin facts, and yes, some laughs along the way. Also, drop a comment if you've ever found a coin you thought was just a penny but turned out to be something way cooler. I love hearing your stories. Alright, treasure hunters, keep your eyes peeled and your pockets jingling. Until next time, may your coins be lucky and your collections grow. We dive into the fascinating world of coins, the shiny little pieces of history hiding in your pocket that could turn into a goldmine someday. Today, we're zooming in on a coin you might have seen 1,000 times but probably never imagined could be worth over $1 million. Yep, you heard me right. Over $1 million. I'm talking about the 1988 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny. Not just any penny, but one that's quietly sitting in some lucky collector's stash with a jaw-dropping value of about $1.7 million. Sounds like one of those internet scams, right? Like, hey, that old rusty penny in your couch cushion is worth your weight in gold. But no, this one is legit, and I'm going to tell you exactly why, how, and what to look for so you don't accidentally throw your fortune away. Stick around, because I'll even share a little story about how I once nearly tossed a rare coin, and it cost me a lesson, and a few laughs. So, let's crack into the world of the 1988 D Memorial Lincoln penny and discover what makes it so special and insanely valuable. Alright, let's start with the basics for those who just came for the shiny treasure and not the history lesson. What is this penny, and why should you care? The 1988 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny is part of a series that's been minted since 1959, featuring the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front. The D stands for Denver, where the coin was minted, and the memorial refers to the reverse side showing the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Now, you might be thinking, cool story, but millions? It's just a penny. Well, the value doesn't come from the copper or zinc it's made of. Pennies nowadays are practically worthless in material. It's about rarity, condition, and a bit of coin magic known as errors. The 1988 D penny that's worth $1.7 million isn't your everyday coin. It's one with a rare mint error or a unique variety that collectors absolutely drool over. Sometimes, during the minting process, coins come out with double dies, misaligned images, or other quirks that make them incredibly rare. For example, the 1988 D Memorial Lincoln penny with the double die error can show doubled letters or numbers, which means the image was stamped twice, just slightly off. It's like the coin was a little confused but accidentally created a masterpiece. Collectors have identified a handful of these error pennies from 1988, and in pristine condition, I mean literally flawless, like you'd be scared to even breathe on it. They can fetch up to $1.70 million. You might be wondering, how many of these are out there? Well, not many. The rarity combined with high demand among collectors pushes the price sky high. Plus, coin grading services like PCGS or NGC verify the coin's authenticity and condition, which is crucial to get top dollar. Now, let me throw in a personal story. A few years back, my uncle, who's a big coin enthusiast, called me excitedly about a weird penny he found while cleaning out his dad's old toolbox. He thought it was just some random coin, but he'd noticed the letters looked a little funny. I took one look and immediately told him to stop polishing it with toothpaste, rookie mistake, and sent him to get it graded. Long story short, it turned out to be a rare error penny from the late 80s, not this exact 1988 D but close enough. He walked away with a couple $1,000 and a huge grin. Never underestimate the power hiding in those tiny coins you find in drawers, jars, or the bottom of your purse. Back to the 1988 D penny, the market for rare coins like this is booming, especially as younger collectors are getting interested in coin collecting. So, if you have one of these or spot a coin that looks a little off, it's worth getting it checked out. Also, condition matters a ton. A worn-out penny from 1988, even with the same error, might only fetch a few $100s, while a flawless one could be worth a fortune. So, don't go throwing your coins around, and definitely don't try to clean them yourself. Cleaning can reduce a coin's value faster than you can say, 1 cent. If you want to get into coin collecting or maybe just find hidden treasure in your change jar, a good strategy is to start learning to identify mint marks, understand coin grading, and keep an eye out for unusual features like doubling or misprints. Another funny thing is how some coins become famous simply because someone decided to spotlight them on YouTube, blogs, or coin forums. Demand can skyrocket overnight, turning a $20 coin into $1 million treasure just because the right people know about it. Alright, my coin enthusiasts, that's the scoop on the incredible 1988 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny worth a whopping $1.7 million. Remember, it's all about rarity, condition, and those quirky mint errors that make collectors drool. If you ever stumble upon a penny that looks a little weird, don't just toss it in the tip jar. Take a closer look, maybe snap a picture, and get some expert opinions. Your next fortune might be just a pocket change away. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep learning how to spot coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell so you never miss out on our treasure hunting tips. Got questions or a cool coin story? Drop it in the comments. I love hearing from you, and who knows, your story might be the next featured one on this channel.